It's Friday, July 29th, 2022, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The U.S. economy shrank for the second consecutive quarter. The Bureau of Economic Analysis reported that total gross domestic product contracted from April through June at an annual rate of 0.9%. Dave Boyer and Joseph Clark report the latest decline was led by drops in private inventories and government spending, a downturn in the housing market, and a slight pullback in business investment. That's raising alarm in many quarters that the country is tipping into a recession. 2 consecutive quarters of an economic slowdown are an informal indication of a recession. An official declaration would come much later after a study of the data from the National Bureau of Economic Research. President Biden dismissed the recession talk as chatter by pundits and said there are plenty of signs of strength in the economy, including low unemployment at 3.6%. Russia has launched a barrage of missiles at Ukraine's capital from neighboring Belarus as Ukraine's counteroffensive in the crucial city of Kherson appeared to be gathering momentum. Mike Glenn and Tom Howe report at least 20 missiles were fired from Belarus, striking an apartment block in the Cherniv region and buildings outside of Ukraine's capital of Kyiv. Ukrainian forces in the east, bolstered by U.S. and Western-supplied weapons, are poised to launch the first major counterattack of the war. It aims to reclaim land taken by Russian forces and their separatist allies around the strategic city of Kherson. The Department of Homeland Security's attempt to track down, catch and release illegal immigrants and serve them with court summonses turned into a complete waste of time, according to officers who say they were pulled off of higher priority cases for the effort. Out of a pool of more than 30,000 potential targets, Stephen Dinan reports officers were able to locate and serve only about 600, according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement sources. Officers who spoke to Stephen said the agency should have known the operation was doomed because the migrants had given bogus addresses to authorities when they were caught at the border. The migrants also haven't been in the country long enough to generate phone or utility records that would have allowed them to be tracked down. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Some House Democrats agree with their party's voters who say President Biden should consider stepping aside and allow another nominee to run in 2024. Kerry Pickett talked with some of them who say there's some inevitability to the situation and that the stress of running would be unrealistic at the president's age. He's currently 79. Democrats who think the president shouldn't run for re-election are willing to say so, only anonymously. A CNN poll released Wednesday found that 75% of Democrats say they want someone else as the Democratic presidential nominee in 2024. 25% of them chose Biden. And finally, some Democratic-leaning cities in Republican states want to help cover costs for women seeking to cross state lines for abortions. That may be a problem in states that ban public funds to provide or assist with abortions, Valerie Richardson reports. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmitt stepped in after the St. Louis Board of Aldermen voted last week to direct $1.5 million from the American Rescue Plan Act to create a fund designed to provide travel and other logistical support for abortion. And in Ohio, 4 cities are moving ahead with proposals to provide taxpayer-funded support for abortion and related services. That's despite a state law that bans the use of state or local dollars for payment or reimbursement for abortion services. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.